Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. My name is Julian, and in today's episode, we're talking about the top 100 forwards in fantasy, in my opinion, guys. This is an important list, guys, because you're going to want to pay close attention to my rankings to know who is going too early in drafts, who's going too late, and who's a steal at their current ADP. You don't necessarily have to pick them in the same order that I put them, but if someone is pretty high in my ranking and their ADP is pretty low, you're going to be getting them at a really good value if you're able to actually get them at their ADP. Before we jump into it, guys, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, guys. More than half of you guys that watch this channel are not subscribed, so be sure to hit that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss any of the preseason I have for you guys. I'm releasing a video pretty much every day or two. Trust me, guys, you're going to want to be subscribed and even click that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss any of my content to help you guys have the best draft ever. Now, guys, if you do want to take that support of yours to the next level, you can follow me on Patreon. The description's in the link below. There's lots of perks. Like if you even sign up for the lowest level, you have a direct message with me. Any questions you have, I answer them. Every single day, I check it once a day, so you're definitely getting direct access for just $2.50 American or $3 Canadian. Enough self-promotion now, let's jump into the list, guys, and for the first 40 or so, guys, I'm going to go through them pretty fast because I've already covered a lot of these forwards in my top 50 players video. You can check that out, guys, right up there. I have changed a little bit of the rankings, so they may not be in the exact same order. Some guys I've lowered quite a bit since then because I have readjusted my list a little bit, so definitely still stay tuned for the beginning part of this video. One last thing before I jump into it though, guys, remember that these are rankings for leagues that have hits, blocks, shots, the normal peripherals that most leagues have these days. If you don't have hits or blocks, their rankings are going to be a little bit different, but these are still overall pretty good rankings. Now, number one, obviously, guys, is Connor McDavid. If anybody puts anybody else at number one, I'm sorry, but they're just wrong. Leon Draisaitl is at number two. If he had not gotten that left wing eligibility back, probably would have dropped him down to number three, but Leon Draisaitl having that dual eligibility is huge. Got him at number two. McKinnon, number three. Austin Matthews, number four. Pastrnak, number five. Got Matthew Tkachuk, number 6, Jason Robertson, number 7, Nikita Kucherov, number 8, Rantanen, number 9, Jack Hughes, number 10, huge jump this year, Kirill Kaprizov, 11, Pettersson, 12, Brady Tkachuk, 13, Tage Thompson, 14, and Alex Ovechkin, 15. Number 16, Mitch Marner, pretty much as safe as they get, 17, Barkov, 18, JT Miller, 19, Sidney Crosby, 20, Steven Stamkos, 21, Tim Stützle, 22, Mika Zibanejad, 23, Timo Meier, 24, Jack Eichel, 25, John Tavares, 26, Kyle Connor, 27, Nico Hischier, 28, Brayden Point, 29, Andrei Svechnikov, number 30, Jake Guentzel, who I did drop a couple more spots just because he is going to miss a few games with that injury guaranteed. And number 31, I raised Alex DeBrincat all the way up here. I definitely should have included him on my last list, guys. DeBrincat didn't have that great of a shooting percentage last year. Definitely, he's going to have a much better year this year, especially if he plays with Dylan Larkin. Got him at number 31. Nylander, number 32. Rupe Hintz at number 33. And number 34, I rose Carter Verhaeghe to this spot because he's just going to have himself a lights out year. The dude shot so much last year. He was just shooting the puck like crazy. And if he's firing the puck that much, the points, the goals are going to come. Regardless, he's going to be a good player this year, and I like him a lot. Got him at 34. Number 35, got Kevin Fiala. And number 36, this is where I have Alex Tuch now. Number 37, I have Joel Eriksson, one of the most underrated players in all of hockey. He was really good last year, and if he has a year which is similar to last year, it's very repeatable for him. He's going to finish around this rank, which is fantastic, and he's going pretty late for an ADP. Just do keep in mind he's a natural center, so it's a little bit less valuable, but still great value for Joel Eriksson at that point in the draft. Now, Travis Konechny of the Philadelphia Flyers, and I love Konechny this year, he's probably going to be surrounded by better players this year. Couturier comes back, Cam Atkinson comes back, so who's going to play with him? who knows? But definitely the quality of players this year is going to be higher, and he still got over a point per game last year with playing with terrible players. So Konechny's going to be a fun player to watch this year. Joe Pavelski, 77 points in 82 games, and he's getting older and older, but he seems to be showing no signs of slowing down. Love Pavelski, got him at number 39. Number 40, Artemi Panarin, 92 points in 80 games. You might be thinking, why is he so late? Because his peripherals suck. That's why he's this late at number 40. Number 41, Dylan Larkin, 79 points in 80 games. He's primed to have a really good year this year, especially if he's playing alongside Alex DeBrincat, like him at number 41. At 42, I got Philip Forsberg. If this dude can stay healthy, he is going to be lights out, an amazing fantasy player. We have to cross our fingers and hope that he can actually play all 82 games this year. I'm not sure if he's ever done it, but if he can do that, guys, Philip Forsberg is going to have incredible value. At number 43, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I have dropped him quite a bit because 104 points is not repeatable, guys. I see him getting 80, 85 points, and that's where he basically ends up falling to with that kind of production. Still think Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is a great player, but his ADP is just way too high. At 44, I got Patrick Laine, and he also is someone that needs to stay healthy. 52 points in 55 games, and he shoots the puck a lot. Guaranteed top line time. If he can stay healthy, he's going to have an amazing year because the Blue Jackets are going to be significantly better this year. And number 45, another guy has to stay healthy. 28 points in 41 games, but if he can stay healthy, he has a lot of value, especially in hits leagues. If you're not in a hits league, obviously I would drop this guy quite a bit, but the safe floor is there, shots and hits. And even if he's not playing top power play, still got a decent amount of value. If somebody gets injured and he gets top power play, that's where he gets even more value. At number 46, we got Sebastian Aho, and he's my favorite player in the NHL, or at least he was a couple years ago. He's still pretty much up there for me. 67 points in 75 games, and he is one of Carolina's best players. And the only reason he's this low is because his peripherals aren't that great. At number 47, I have Chris Kreider with 47 points in 53 games. And Chris Kreider is not someone that gets that many assists, but he's someone that can score goals. And as long as he sticks on that New York Rangers top power play, he's going to score plenty of goals. Can do even a little bit better than last year. That's why I got him at number 47. At number 48, this is where I dropped Valeri Nichushkin to. I had him pretty high up on my top 50 list, around this area probably, actually. But I did drop him a little bit to 48th forward overall, but I still think he's going to have an amazing year, guys. He's going really late, his ADP, and he's going to get top power play time with the likes of McKinnon, Rantanen, Cale Makar. He's someone that I really am high on this year. At number 49, I got Nikolai Ehlers. Yes, I had him a little bit high in the last video as well, but I do still like his ceiling. I think Ehlers, hopefully, can turn it around this year because I really like him and I think that he's going to have himself a nice year. And as late as he's going with the ADP, he's going to be an absolute steal. And even if he doesn't return this value, he's still probably going to return much better value than that ADP. Evgeny Malkin at number 50 is still Pittsburgh's number 2 center. Top power play pretty much guaranteed this year. Was over a point per game last year, like Malkin at number 50. At number 51, I have Adrian Kempe, a guy who a lot of people are excited for this year, including myself. His eligibility is good, center right wing, so you could kind of move him around in your lineup a little bit. He's going to be playing on that top line and top power play with Anze Kopitar and some great Kings players this year. I'm excited to watch him in action this year. At number 52, I have Mark Stone, but I am really worried about the injury risk with Mark Stone. Yes, they're saying he's fully healthy, which is why I have him this high, but I'm not drafting him myself because he's just a risky player in the sense that he hasn't been healthy for the past couple years, and if he does get injured again, his career could be over. So I am personally avoiding him, but if he is healthy, this is where he ranks for me, and maybe even a few spots higher if he can really stay healthy the full season. At number 53, I have Vincent Trocheck, and I was surprised actually ranking him this high, guys, but the dude gives you a super safe floor with shots and with hits, and 64 points in 82 games. That's something that's super repeatable for him. Even if he gets a few less points, the floor is there, and he's someone who is guaranteed pretty much to play on that top power play unless Philip Hedl passes him on the depth chart, which I don't think is going to happen this year. At number 54, we have Zach Hyman. 83 points last year and 79 games, obviously. Great year last year. Is that going to be repeatable? I think he's going to score quite a bit less points. Obviously, the Oilers had the best power play ever in the NHL last year, so probably it's not going to be quite repeated this year, even if it's going to be probably pretty good again this year. I don't see Hyman scoring 80 points again, but I do still think he's going to have himself a pretty nice year. I think I projected him for around 69 points. At number 55, I have Tom Wilson. And last year he was limited to 33 games, but this year I am banking on him being healthy. If he can stay healthy, he gives you a really safe floor with all the hits that he dishes out. On top of that, he probably is going to play top line with Alexander Ovechkin. So the points will come, and he's probably going to get top power play as well. So he's definitely someone that I like in hits leagues. If you're not in a hits league, I would drop him significantly, though, on this list. At number 56, I have Pavel Buchnevich, and he's someone that I really do like this year. Obviously, Buchnevich is someone that I think is an incredible player, right? And he's probably going to get plenty of ice time this year in St. Louis, and I think he's going to have himself a really nice season. Got him at 56. At 57, I have Jordan Kyrou, 73 points in 79 games. I think he's going to have himself another nice year. Got him at number 57. Brad Marchand is someone who I did drop quite a bit on this list, only because I'm worried about the lack of Patrice Bergeron. I'm worried about that hip injury catching up to him. He did look slow towards the end of the year last year. So there's a few factors that I'm worried about. Obviously, he could end up finishing 20, 30 spots above this near the end of the season. If he can stay healthy and play to normal Brad Marchand level, he's going to be great. But I'm just a little bit worried about him this year. That's why I dropped him to 58. At 59, I have Matt Boldy, 63 points in 81 games, and this dude, he's so young and he looks so good. He's only going to get better and better every single year. Got him at number 59. Drake Batherson, 62 points in 82 games. His shooting percentage was terrible last year. The on-ice shooting percentage for him was also really bad last year, so I only expecting him to get better this year, have a really nice year. Got him at number 60. At number 61, I have Sam Reinhart, and I think that he's going to be a steal in this year's draft. His ADP is pretty late, guys, and I do think he's going to have a nice year. Towards the second half of the season last year, he turned it on and scored a lot of points, looked really good, and I think he's going to have an even better year than he did last year, guys. I think he's an absolute steal at that ADP. At number 62, I have Elias Lindholm, 64 points in 80 games. I think Calgary overall had a bad year last year, and I think they're going to turn it around this year, and Elias Lindholm can get back to Elias Lindholm-like numbers. I think this ranking might even be a little bit low for him if he can get to his normal kind of numbers. At number 63, I have Sam Bennett, and I like him this year. I think he gives you a really nice safe floor with those shots and those blocks. And he's pretty much guaranteed top 6 time in Florida with some really great wingers. He's going to be a great pickup in almost any kind of league. At number 64, I have Jonathan Huberdeau. Yes, he had an awful year last year, but that was the only awful year he's pretty much ever had in like so many years. Jonathan Huberdeau is a stud in my opinion, and with the new coaching staff in Calgary, I think Huberdeau is going to bounce back, and I think he's going to be really good value at his current ADP if he can even live up to half of what he did in Florida. Clayton Keller, I got him number 65. Obviously had an amazing year last year, over a point per game. I like the dual eligibility there too with left wing, right wing. He's going to get plenty of ice time, plenty of top power play time. Love Clayton Keller once again this year. At number 66, this is where I have Connor Bedard. I still have him projected for around 80 points with some decent peripherals, about a hit per game, and this is where he projects to. So don't draft him at his current ADP. It's too high. But this is where I'm projecting Connor Bedard. At number 67, I have Pierre-Luc Dubois, who just got traded to the LA Kings. Should probably see top power play time in the team. We'll have to see that, but he probably will. He's got plenty of second line time as their centerman. Luckily for the people that draft him, Yahoo left that left wing eligibility, so he's got a little bit of flexibility in your lineup, which definitely helps with his value. At number 68, I have Nazem Kadri, and I think he's also going to have a bounce back year, just like the other Flames that I had on this list. Obviously, 56 points in 82 games is not what we wanted to see from Nazem Kadri last year after he had that amazing year in Colorado. This year, I think the Flames will turn it around with that new coaching staff, and I think Kadri's going to have a much better year. Got him at number 68. At number 69, we have Jeff Skinner with 82 points in 79 games last year. Skinner is someone who's pretty much guaranteed to do well, right? He's pretty much tied to Tage Thompson, top power play, top line, and yes, there are a lot of Jeff Skinner haters, but yeah, he's probably going to drop a little bit that production from last year. I know he's never gotten 47 assists before, but when you're playing with Tage Thompson, getting that kind of points is not that crazy. He'll probably drop a little bit, but I still like him this year. Got him at number 69. At number 70, I have Brock Nelson, and his shooting percentage is a bit high, but he's maintained it for a couple of years now. It's not like he's, it was a one-off. Brock Nelson is someone who can shoot the puck and did really well last year with 36 goals. Obviously, I do expect a little bit of regression, but I still really like Brock Nelson for next year as the Isles' second-line center. Got him at number 70. At number 71, this is where I have Johnny Gaudreau. Obviously, he was super disappointing last year, even though he did record 74 points. Just those peripherals suck. His plus-minus was terrible. And overall, he just wasn't a top 100 fantasy player. This year, I'm expecting Columbus to be much better. Expecting the plus-minus to be much better. And I am expecting Johnny Gaudreau to finish around number 71. At 72, I have Cole Caulfield. If he can stay healthy, I am so excited to watch Cole Caulfield this year because this is the year where he really is going to break out, in my opinion. If he can stay that whole year with Suzuki and, Newhook or Dak or whoever they end up playing on that top line, Caulfield's going to have a hell of a year. And at that ADP, it's going to be a real treat for anybody that drafts him. At number 73, I have Claude Giroux of the Ottawa Senators. Had a really amazing year last year. It was almost a point per game. I'm not quite expecting that again, but I am still expecting Giroux to have a pretty decent year. Got him at number 73. At 74, I have Boone Jenner. And honestly, he could end up finishing even higher than this, like 10 spots higher, in my opinion. He's got a super safe floor with those hits. He even blocks about a block per game, and he shoots a nice amount. Like, the safe floor is there. If you play with face-off wins, he wins plenty of face-offs, and he's going to get a bunch of points as well. The only reason to have him this low is because there's a little bit of worry that either Fantilli or maybe Sillinger takes a spot on the top line. I'm not too worried about that. I still think Boone Jenner's going to get plenty of ice time and power play time as well. So this is why I got him at number 74. At number 75, I have Rickard Rakell of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and this is where I have him ranked if he does continue to play on that top power play in Pittsburgh. He looked really, really good on that top power play last year. That's why they knocked Brian Rust off the power play, because Rakell was so good. If Rakell can continue that, he's going to finish around the same as he did last year. That production, not unrealistic, right? If he gets knocked off that power play, he's going to shoot the puck less, he's going to get less points, and obviously his value dips. So we're going to have to wait and see if both Letang and Karlsson end up on that top power play. If they do, Rakell probably gets knocked off, at least after Gensel comes back, and that lowers his value. But I think that it's going to be Rakell and not Letang on the power play. But I'm not super confident about that. So he's a little bit more of a risky pick, but definitely could return super good value if he does end up staying on that top power play. At number 76, we have Martin Necas of the Carolina Hurricanes, and had an amazing year last year with 71 points in 82 games. I'm expecting another really good year from him this year. Got him at number 76. At number 77, Tarasenko, now in the Ottawa Senators, 50 points in 69 games. The big thing with Tarasenko is that he has to increase that shot volume. If he can increase that shot volume like he did a couple years ago, his ceiling is astronomical. His ceiling is huge, but he's not going to score a lot of goals if he doesn't shoot the puck a lot, and I am expecting at least a little bit of an uptick in shots. That's why I got him at number 77. At 78, I have Bo Horvat, 70 points in 79 games, 38 goals. That kind of season is not repeatable for Bo Horvat. I definitely do see him regressing quite a bit. He did not do as well once he got to the Islanders, right? Now, Bo Horvat, I still see him having a decent season, just not as good as last year. That's why I got him at number 78. At 79, I have Jake DeBrusk. I have him this low because the lack of Bergeron is going to hurt him, right? 50 points in 64 games is not going to be repeatable for him this year. I still think he has a semi-decent year. That's why I got him at number 79. At number 80, Mark Scheifele. 68 points in 81 games. Now, Mark Scheifele might get traded at some point this year. But as of right now, he's still in the Jets, and he's a really, really safe bet at his current ADP. At number 81, I have Anze Kopitar last year at 74 points in 82 games. He's an absolute steal at his current ADP, guys. Anze Kopitar is someone who's insanely safe. He's going to be top line, top power play, and he's been healthy. Like, he's played the whole year last year, and he's someone that I'm really not concerned at all with injuries, so he's definitely a super safe pick. Pretty late in your draft, you're getting some pretty good value there. At number 82, I have Matt Zuccarello of the Minnesota Wild, one of my favorite players in the entire league. Going to get consistent top power play and top line time with Kirill Kaprizov. So as long as he's tied to Kaprizov, which he will be, he's going to have himself a nice year. Got him at number 82. And number 83, I have Logan Couture. Someone's got to score points in San Jose, right? Couture did it last year. 67 points in 82 games. It was a minus 30, though. And that might happen again. But even if he does get a minus 30 again, Couture is going to have himself a nice year. Got him at 83. At number 84, I have Jonathan Marchessault. 55 points in 79 games. Jonathan Marchessault is only right-wing eligible as of right now. So that definitely hurts his value a little bit, but definitely the dude has a safe floor every single night because he shoots the puck a nice amount. Tyler Toffoli is the next guy on this list. 73 points in 82 games. No, I don't think he's going to do that again on the Devils. Obviously, there are a lot of really good players on the Devils, so he's going to have to share that ice time. But if he plays with good players like Bratt or Hughes or Mercer, whoever he ends up playing with, Toffoli is probably going to have himself another really good year. He seems to be getting better with age, which is crazy. And number 86, Brandon Hagel had himself a really nice year last year, 64 points in 81 games. And I think a season like that is actually going to be pretty repeatable for him. He's going to play in the top 6. He's going to do well once again. Got him at number 86. Then Jesper Bratt last year, 73 points in 82 games. Love him on the Devils, and I think he's going to have himself a really nice year once again next year, like that dual eligibility as well. Got him at 87. And number 88, Jared McCann had an amazing year, 40 goals, 30 assists, 70 points. Obviously, Seattle's overall goals per game and shooting percentage was very, very high. So I'm expecting them to score quite a bit less, but I do still think Jared McCann is their best forward, and he's going to have a very nice year. Got him at number 88. And number 89, Tomas Hertl. Someone else has got to score points for San Jose as well, right? They got 2 pretty good centers as their number 1 and 2 center. Hertl scored 63 points last year, was a minus 36, so that hurt him a little bit more than Couture, but overall, Hertl is still a really great option. Got him at number 89. At number 90, I have Jamie Benn, who had an amazing bounce-back year last year with 78 points in 82 games. Obviously, I'm projecting a pretty significant regression this year, but in my opinion, he still showed me enough last year that I can paint him as a top 100 player. Got him at number 90. At number 91, Matthew Barzal. I like that for the first time ever. He has a right-wing designation. Probably because he's actually going to be playing right wing this year on probably Horvat's line. I like that a lot, increases his value a lot, and he had the best season pretty much of his career last year with 51 points in 58 games. Obviously, I would have liked to see him play more games, but he looks pretty good. I got him at number 91, expecting a nice year from him. Number 92, Tyler Bertuzzi. Just joined the Maple Leafs, going to play in that top 6 for sure. I'm expecting him to revert to the Bertuzzi of a couple seasons ago rather than the Bertuzzi of last year, but I'm expecting him to have a pretty good year with the Leafs. Got him at number 92. Then Jason Zucker last year scored 27 goals, which is pretty nice to see. 48 points, shot the puck like crazy. That gives him a super safe floor. Got him at number 93. Even though he's playing with the Coyotes next year, I'm expecting him to have a good year, possibly playing with Logan Cooley and Matias Maccelli. At number 94, Ryan Hartman. 37 points in 59 games, obviously. Would like to see him play a little bit more, but he's pretty much locked into a top 6 role with Minnesota. Probably top power play as well for the most part. Like him at number 94. At number 95, Owen Tippett. Had a surprisingly good year last year. Obviously, with so many Flyers injured, Tippett had to step up, and he did. He shot the puck a pretty decent amount, which gave him a pretty safe floor, and I'm expecting him to do well this year, especially if he does play on a good line with maybe Konechny and Couturier or something like that. He could definitely have himself a nice year. At number 96, I got Nick Suzuki with 66 points in 82 games. I think that, yes, his shooting percentage was high, but he was playing with some pretty crappy players all year. If he can play on a good line with Caulfield and Doc or Newhook, whoever it ends up being all year, he's going to have himself a really good year. Got him at 96. At 97, I have Matt Duchene. And I'm expecting him to score a few more goals on a much better Dallas team, have a much better plus and minus, and overall, I think he's going to have a rebound year. Matt Duchene seems to have a really good year every couple of years or so, and last year was an off year for him, so I'm expecting a bounce back year, assuming that he does play in the top 6 in Dallas. At number 98, I have Troy Terry of the Anaheim Ducks. He's the only Anaheim Duck I got on this list, but he just snuck in here, guys. 61 points in 70 games last year. I do think Troy Terry and Trevor Zegras could even take another step this year and look even better, although I'm not expecting a whole lot from the Anaheim Ducks. At number 99, I have Dylan Cousins of the Buffalo Sabres. Had an amazing breakout year last year with 68 points in 81 games. He's going to continue to be the second-line center in Buffalo and probably play on that top power play. That's going to give him a decent amount of value. Got him at number 99. And finally, Nick Schmaltz, 67 points in 63 games. Was amazing last year, right? Obviously, I'm projecting a little bit of regression, but playing on that top line and top power play guaranteed, basically, with Clayton Keller is a magical place to be. It's one of the best lines that Arizona's had in a very, very long time. And I'm excited to be drafting Nick Schmaltz this year. Got him at number 100. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed the content today, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks for watching once again, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tip.